Welcome to the must see. No, that's Monday nights. That's WWE, and I am not the Miz. I am Mr. Thursday Night, Mr. Amir Sharaz Ortiz. Welcome to another edition of the All Sports Matters podcast. Uh, I'm gonna bring my brothers on board here in a minute, trying to make sure we get set up. Again, we're trying to work with the technical difficulties that StreamYard has given us. It's not a All Sports Matters problem, but it is our problem because we can't get our act together. But either way, we're doing another show. We are here on Thursday nights. Yes. Just trying to see if we actually broadcast. I know we're live right now on YouTube. Either way, you can find us on YouTube live on the All Sports Matters subscription page. So go over to YouTube if need be. It says we're broadcasting. It says JB is broadcasting. I'm not seeing me. If my producer JB can get that, I thought I fixed it before we started. I really did. I thought I fixed it before we started. It says, see, I don't know if I saved. Okay, save changes, and hopefully we are in here. Who also is in here is my brother Just Fleck, Mr. 2.5 belt himself. What is going on, Mr. Titan?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just dealing with these. I'm getting comments, but not for the show. I'm trying to get our page. We're not. It's like Facebook is not cooperating with us. Again, it's not our fault. But I promise you, I'm clicking all that I'm supposed to be clicking. I'm sharing all that I'm supposed to be sharing. But for some reason, it is not happening, and it is showing we're live on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm trying to get the facts straight here, and I don't want to close out, go back in. Either way, if we talk to ourselves, we just talk to ourselves. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother, man?
How much were you sweating? How much was you sweating Tuesday night?
Man, look, so when we were down, I missed the JB 3 that tied it up because I had got so ticked off that I turned the game off. And when I got the alert that was like overtime, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing?" I was a terrible fan. So then I turned it back on and watched OT. But yeah, I was taking that one. I was taking that one on the chin, man. Especially after the Celtics they were up by as many as like 13 at one point in the second half.
It has to be the closest game they played all postseason, correct? It has to
be. Yeah, that one and they played a close one in was it Miami against Miami or
no
against Cleveland? They played another close one.
Right.
I can't remember which game, but yeah, that one right there had me. Yeah.
So we're on. I fixed it. I had to click a link on top, and I saved it. It shows that we are live online, so we are not alone. I chime in on your comments as we get going. Boston versus Indiana. Obviously, they had to be the right two teams at this point. Everybody else is just beat up. Milwaukee came in with injuries. Miami came in with injuries. The Knicks had injuries during the playoffs. The two healthy teams are they don't have Porzingis yet.
I was about to say, and that's a big piece, man. That's a big piece. So the Celtics aren't, and they need him against this Indiana team because Miles Turner can stretch it out to 3. They need that 5 that can cover.
Miles Turner is definitely playing ball.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And this is where the Celtics really miss KP.
Right.
Porzingis. Is in this series because length is giving them. That's what's giving the Celtics trouble. Length. The big men that can step out because Al Horford, for all that he's given us, he cannot. We can't have Big Al running out.
Does it seem like his career is already right there, right? Like if Boston, it's kind of career like if a Boston wins, he retires. I think Al Horford's done that. He's done enough.
I can see that. You know what I'm saying? He's the of the teams that are left. He's played the most playoff games.
Right.
So the experience factor is definitely there. But with that, he could be a liability on defense sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely I'm seeing the age factor as I'm looking at it. Obviously, we only have one game a night. Game 2 should be starting here shortly, right?
Starts in about an hour.
Starts in about an hour.
At 7.
So, all right, so we'll get off of here so everybody can go at peace and watch the Celtics be allergic to winning game 2. Why can the Celtics ever win game 2? They go win every other game, but not game 2.
You know what? This will be the one that they win. That game 1 hopefully was a wake-up call to them. You know what I'm saying? That
right.
You can't take your foot off the gas. You were up 13. You were up 12 at one point in the first half. You was up 13 at one point in the second half, and you let both of them leads get away from you. So they're definitely gonna have to tighten up. And I think that game 1 scare is going to be enough to right the ship. I think. I don't want to say that out loud though. I ain't gonna say it out loud. Well, I think the Celtics win tonight.
Indiana is doing and has done everything they need to do to win. Game 1 was definitely Pacers losing, not Boston winning, correct? Game 1?
I agree. Well, it was Boston losing too, because like I said, they had those big leads and lost both of them.
Well,
so they gave it back to Indy.
Right. It wasn't moving the ball after halftime, like at all. After halftime, Boston was not moving that ball. It was like just ISO.
But they went up 13.
Play and that's it.
But they went up 13 at one point, though. That's what I'm saying. Like they took their foot off the gas, and that's when you saw a lot of that one-on-one ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if them shots aren't falling, you can't do that against Indiana because them boys like to run.
They do. Halliburton is shutting everybody up as far as play. Everybody thought that, because he had a quiet first round. And then he turned it up for the Knicks, and obviously, he shut up for game 1. What do the Pacers have to do to win this series?
So what has been working for Indy up to this point in the playoffs is their bench giving them big time games. McConnell, what's the boy? I can't think of the other guy's name.
There's a Herbert, something
Niebuhr.
Something, yeah, Niebuhr.
So
never.
Them guys are coming off the bench doing it.
Yeah, I didn't know who the kid was until the next series.
Right, but they're not going to be able to do that against this Boston team because Boston is a top 3 defensive team as well as being a top 3 offensive. You know what I'm saying?
So this is be a Final Four of first timers. We're talking about the superstars,
right?
Outside of your best friend Kyrie, we're talking about Luka. We're talking about Halliburton. We're talking about Tatum and Brown, and we're talking about obviously Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. Right, and we'll get to the West here in a minute.
Did you just say Rudy Gobert? Well, I guess you could put it.
He hasn't won, hasn't he?
No. But you were naming superstars, and then you said Rudy Gobert.
I'm being fair. He is the highest paid player in the playoffs right now. Just want to throw that out there. Fun fact. See, it counts for something.
I mean, hey, get your bag, I guess.
He's the highest paid player that's currently playing in his last 4 teams is Rudy Gobert. He makes more than Doncic, Kyrie, Tatum, Brown, just this year, not total contract, just this year. So
I get what you're saying, but
that's intriguing. Now let's go back to the last 90 seconds of that game 1, right? And Indiana, I thought, established themselves as closing this game out. All they had to do was inbound the ball twice, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
What am I missing here?
You're not wrong. I mean, that's all they had. That's literally all they had to do. But you have to give that Boston defense credit for, you know what I'm saying, forcing them into those situations. But yeah, they definitely lost that game.
Yeah,
with that sequence. That
it irks my nerve. Me, I'm a hundredaire, right? These guys are millionaires, and I know two things about basketball. When you're up by 3 and they got one shot to win the game, you foul them and put them on the line. That's basketball 1-on-1. You don't need a degree. You don't need the skill. That's Jaylen Brown pump fake twice.
After the first one, that's when he should have fouled, because I thought he was going to pull on that first pump. And then he gave him the second one. I was like,
he didn't make this worse. He didn't even jump. He didn't. He just reached up. I guess he was scared. Right. Because the day before that, we saw OKC. Right. Literally the day before that, OKC fouled Dallas and got them into the playoffs. So maybe it was a mental thing.
Right.
And it was that exact same spot, corner 3. So maybe everybody saw the highlights, corner 3. They don't want to foul, send them to the line, game over. But you're up 3. It's not a tie game. You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, I guess I think after JB started Brown started stumbling, because it looked like he stumbled a little bit on that first one.
I thought he lost the ball for a second.
Because exactly. So he was off balance. So I'm pretty sure dude was thinking like, okay, I'll fake contest. You know what I'm saying? He already stumbling. There's no way he hit this.
Right.
I mean, that was an incredible shot.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a shot they wasn't doing the whole fourth quarter.
Right.
That fourth quarter, Celtics look like deep run playoff Celtics where they struggle. You know, they beat the easy teams, obviously. You can beat the Cavaliers, you can beat the Knicks, you can beat the Heat, you can beat, you know what I'm saying? Those teams
they should not
are beatable.
Right. They should not have had to have struggled. Because when they were up 13, they took their foot off the gas, and that's when you started seeing a lot of that ISO ball.
And I was lost.
When the Celtics are moving the ball and that 3-point shot is dropping, they're tough, bro. And now, you know what I'm saying this as you know, obviously I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm saying that totally unbiased. Like, when they're moving the ball and them threes are dropping, they're unbeatable.
No,
but they get stagnant and start doing that one-on-one. And I mean, you know, I guess that's the gift and the curse of having two superstars, because they both do it.
They take turns. You already know.
Right.
The next round is Tatum, then the next round is Brown, and then they try to figure out everything else. And but at the end of the day, Rick Carlisle, I was gonna say Super Bowl winning head coach, NBA Finals winner head coach, right? He was the coach with Dirk Nowitzki, so he knows better, right? Like, you got a timeout. So on those 2 inbounds, when they couldn't get the ball in play, up 4, they were up 4, couldn't get the ball in play. You got a timeout. Not sure why that wasn't used. Then a timeout was called before that inbounds play. How do you not tell your guys foul?
Right.
I'm not understanding the coaching when it comes to
but by the time, I mean, that first pump fake put him out of position to really foul and not have him.
Speaking of fouling,
why y'all didn't tell me we was working today?
We worked last Thursday. Welcome to the show, JB.
What's good, big fellas? What's good?
We were discussing, not sure if you chimed in or not, we were discussing what went wrong with the Indiana Pacers, because Celtics did everything right to get back in the game. They played defense like they always do. This is the most defensive battle. You know, it's high scoring. It just goes to show the caliber of the offensive players that they're that good. But this is the most contested defensively that we will see in the NBA Finals. These two teams play defense.
Right. But I think, like I said, the difference maker for the Pacers has been their bench. Their bench, McConnell, especially, he's not gonna bully ball like he was doing against the Knicks.
Well, he tried.
No, he did. He
found his mark. I think he was trying to bully
those last two wins.
Derek White. He was like, I can't get the other guy, but I'm gonna bully Derek White.
And he's not even bullying Derek White. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to bully Drew Holiday. He's not going to bully Derek White.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? Them boys are dogs out there on that perimeter.
Was it? I think all three guys scored 25 plus. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Drew Holiday all had 25 plus.
Yep.
So obviously the offense is going to be there no matter how good defense is going to be. The Pacers got to go back, not send it to the drawing board. They're fine, but they got to use Miles Turner more. I think that's going to be the edge right there.
And one thing that the Pacers have done in the first two rounds is they've been able to play up and down the court, running it. The Celtics can match that. You know what I mean? So it's going to come down to those defensive. Who's going to come up with those key defensive plays?
No, I'm
hoping it's my Celtics, but I mean, you know.
So, how do you think the series will go going forward?
Without the benefit of knowing what's happening tonight, I said
that's why I said going forward.
Right. And I said coming into this series that I had the Celtics winning, but they weren't going to just bully over the Pacers. Like, I wanted the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted the Knicks.
You want to beat up. You're a bully.
I think the Pacers win.
Huh?
I think the Pacers win.
Is that your?
So like I'm saying, going forward in the series,
I got your Eastern Conference finals prediction. Pacers win.
Yes.
How many games?
7.
So they win at TD Garden.
Yep.
Nah,
it's my opinion. I'm just saying.
Okay, I got the season 6, and I said coming in, it wasn't going to be an easy one for the Celtics.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not easy. I just hope that the Pacers don't come in dejected and they just don't give up the bag.
So I think they lose tonight. I definitely think they lose tonight.
The Celtics?
No, the Pacers.
How? They're allergic to game 2.
Right. Something has to give, right?
Yeah, them giving away a game.
I expect the Pacers to win tonight.
I got the Pacers coming in, like you said, at first feeling dejected. So, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to be able to get that last game stink off of them and be able to move forward knowing that they collapsed?
Right.
They had game 1, you know what I mean? So
Jim, you got 7-game series. Indiana walks it off, or they blow them out like they did the New York Knicks.
No, I don't think any of these games are gonna be blowouts. These gonna be hotly contested games, and they go. I feel like they go win by like either 2 or 5, but it's gonna be something super close.
Not 3 or 4. Got it. So,
what do you say? What do you say?
He said they're gonna win by 2 or 5.
Just somewhere in there. One of the numbers.
3 or 4, but 2 or 5. Got it. Cool. On the flip side, on the West, we got the Kyrie Irving led Dallas Mavericks, of course, with superstar Luka Doncic, and the Beast of Minnesota. That's a 3-headed monster of 2.5.
Stop it.
I mean,
what?
Stop it. You still saying it.
What?
You call him a 3-headed monster? Rudy Gobert don't count.
Exactly.
Why not?
Rudy Gobert is he out there looking like a nephew trying to beat his uncle in basketball. No, Rudy Gobert getting tossed around by he got tossed around by Joker. He getting tossed around in Dallas. Rudy Gobert is trash. He need to go back to France. He
But
making all Frenchmen
they
look
don't
bad.
need his athleticism in this series. They don't have a big man just sitting down there or big man drawing them out to the top. Luka Doncic is their big man. So
exactly.
in that aspect, he's Karl Anthony Towns is on Luka.
But that's the thing. They don't have a big man to stop him, so he should be dominating, and he not. Another thing that don't ever need to happen again is Anthony Edwards don't need to call out Kyrie Irving again. Talk about I'm gonna be on Kyrie because
Well, what do you expect the young man to do? He's trying to draw headlines. He's trying to,
and I get it. You want to be on the best one, and you want to you want to go out there and do it. And you're trying to draw headlines, but don't try to draw headlines, and then in doing so, you allow for your guy that you said you about to stop to just go completely crazy on you.
No, I totally agree. I'm trying to get these headlines up here for the public out in YouTube land. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. I fixed the Facebook thing. Yeah, I figured it out.
I'm not necessarily seeing it right now.
Yeah, no, we're see, we're live. We're live. See? Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well,
no, I fixed it. I fixed it.
Somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. I had to add me to the live stream, not offline. See what I'm saying? Like the permissions.
Yeah.
And that wasn't working. So when we went live,
I told you that the other day.
No, I know that. But on the top right of we're getting sidetracked here. But
that's fine.
The StreamYard, when you press edit, just click edit, add the name, log into Facebook.
Yeah.
Bam, there we are.
Yeah, that's why I told you. It don't matter. They can learn about how the sausage is made. What they gonna do? Nothing.
We don't want to know how the sausage is made. That's the reason why Fleck doesn't eat hot dogs now. But we are moving on from making sausages.
They have chicken.
What can the Wolves do to stop Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who both scored over 30 points game one? Remember, Kyrie hasn't done much of anything. Because he's let Luka do his own thing. But JB, talk to me. What does Minnesota have to do other than calling them out? What do they actually have to do to stop the Dallas Mavericks from winning this series?
Well, I'm glad you called me because I was going to start because Fleck can't talk about this subject apparently. Because anytime he talks about number 11, he seems like a scoring ex-girlfriend. But
I didn't want her anyway.
What they need to do is tell Kyrie Irving that the earth is round so he can go off on a little tangent. Once he goes off on that tangent, everything will go crazy and start to crumble in Dallas, and they should be able to pull it out. But until then, until Kyrie Irving goes on one of his rants, they better pray and come out like they did in Game 7 against the Jazz. Not the Jazz. The who was it? Denver, the Nuggets. I forgot the Jazz is trash.
So yes, the world was shocked. So that series was full of emotions, right? Minnesota went to Denver, beat the brakes off of Denver in Denver, and then Denver came back and won 3 in a row, and then Minnesota had to win. Like, what's the difference between that Minnesota and the Minnesota we saw last night? Mind you, Minnesota also has home field advantage.
Time. I think that's really what it amounted to. Dallas had a few more days to kind of rest and get their minds together. Minnesota by going 7 with Denver, it took a couple of days off of what they would have liked to have had to prepare for it. So I think that they'll be good for a bounce back game next game. All jokes aside with it, I do think that Minnesota can stick with Dallas. I think as of right now, they're the favorite to come out of the West, but they just need some time to get themselves together and get their minds right. They caught a shocker They thought it was gonna be easy, but the last series they lost both of the first games at home. So I mean, it's not like they're not used to losing the games at home. So
I think they're fine.
Yeah,
I think they're just fine. They lost by 3 points despite 30-point game from Kyrie and Luka, and Anthony Edwards only had 19. Cat only had 16. Those numbers are going to start to balance back out. You know, Luka's going to get high, mid to high 20s. Kyrie's going to get 20 to 25, but Anthony Edwards, he's not going to sit on 19. Cat's not going to sit on 16. Those numbers are going to come up. They only lost by 3. So I think they're fine.
Yeah,
they didn't lose by 2 or 5. They lost by 3.
See,
Right.
and see that's the thing right there. If you get to 3, you in good company. 2 or 5,
I think they're just fine.
That was random, but what?
I ain't been on here in 5 months, so we go get back together. So
prediction time. How does this series finish?
I got the Wolves in 7. I think this gonna be a set. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a 7-game series. I think with Minnesota holding home court, a game 7 will obviously be in Minnesota. So I think that's gonna be enough to push them over the top. It's gonna be a close series.
All right. Well, I already picked the Wolves to win, so I'm gonna take the Wolves in 6, barely edging it out. But I think they'll win either way. I just think they win in 6 and go on to take on the Indiana Pacers.
Wolves and Pacers. That sounds like
that's a weird matchup, right?
That's not something people.
That's a weird matchup.
Preseason, at all.
But Tyrese Halliburton going up against Anthony Edwards, can you imagine?
So I had a question. Let me backtrack just a little bit before we move on from the game of basketball. The legacy that is or can be the Boston Celtics. If Tatum and Brown does not get a ring this year, when the field to me is not as strong, does that hurt their legacy?
Not necessarily. They're still young. So I mean, 6 conference finals and 5 in 7 years, 5 conference finals in 7 years,
But the path
just turned 26.
But the path to the title
I understand
will never get this easier.
I understand what you're saying, and every year since Tatum has been there for real, it's been steady progress. Then you get to the finals and you lose. I mean, he's knocking on the door, man. I don't think it hurts his. I don't think it hurts his legacy. It doesn't help it, but I don't think it hurts it.
With that being said, the Cleveland Cavaliers fired Bernie Bickerstaff today after winning their first 2 rounds, right? And they lost to the number 1 seed. So in other words, he's the scapegoat, right? Just like Darvin Ham was the scapegoat, just like Alvin Griffin was the scapegoat. Who?
Adrian Griffin.
And Bernie's son, JB Bickerstaff. Not Bernie.
JB Bickerstaff, Adrian Griffin.
That's what I said. I said Bickerstaff.
You said Bernie Bickerstaff.
I don't know where that came from, but I'm pretty sure it's the Bernie.
That's his son.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Bickerstaff So.
Bernie is in our era of basketball.
In our wheelhouse, yeah.
I knew that. But what who takes the blame for Boston if obviously they don't finish this run?
I mean, it's going to be on 1A and 1B. It has to start from the top.
It's not on Mazzulla, Matola. What's his name?
It
Missoula.
should be on. It should be on him.
No, because he's not out there shooting it. He's not out there defending it. Like,
neither is Bickerstaff Ham or.
But he should still be putting in the game plan.
What went on? LeBron was one of them. I don't know what's going on.
Giannis was the other one.
I think Cleveland is about to go into a full blown rebuild. To be honest with you again, Cleveland. Cavs. I think they're about to go into a full blown. I think Garland and Mitchell could be both traded.
That's
already shopping Jared Allen.
That's insane to me. That Donovan Mitchell is already rumored to be out the door, just like Jared Allen. Just like Jared Allen is too. And I'm like,
and Darius Garland. That's what I'm saying. Like they're and then by them firing the coach, he probably was like, no, I'm not with the rebuild. I want to try to run it back, and that's probably where they differed. He knows they're about to go into a full blown rebuild.
Obviously, everybody is rumored to be traded to the Lakers, so obviously we'll just listen to.
Yeah, it's the Lakers or the 76ers. Like those are the only teams you're hearing about where people might be traded to. Like, okay,
they had a couple of dark horses from other teams. Dark horses, small teams.
No, he's if he leaves Cleveland, he's going to a bigger market. He's going
and I know one rumor I did see out there was they was trying they was talking about trying to get Brandon Ingram up there with him by trying to get I think they said something about a package for Jared Allen or with Jared Allen in it to get Brandon Ingram up there with Spider. So I don't know.
But then you still would have to trade either Mitchell or Garland because they can't play together. Them two
right.
Can't
And
play.
I was about to say they're trying to get him up there with Spider. So Garland would probably be in the package somewhere too.
And then they're taking two big risks because Brandon Ingram's a free agent, right? After this year.
After this year, yeah.
And so is Mitchell. So they both can leave. So
right.
You're putting all your eggs in them two baskets, and they both can leave.
So as a fan down here, I would gladly say send Jared Allen and Garland down here. We'll give you Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum.
Why y'all? Nah. Then you're just doing the same thing again. CJ McCollum is basically the same mold.
So one team to watch out for during the sweepstakes prior to the draft is the San Antonio Spurs, having number 4, number 8.
That's good. That's crazy.
So they have a lot of leverage, or they have a lot of.
But this is also
it is a weak draft. What I'm saying is, you're looking at a team like Cleveland. They want to rebuild. Why not rebuild with 2 top 10 picks and shift?
See, any other draft, maybe, but I mean, outside of like even the top 2 or 3, there's so much debate over who's going to go number 1. How often does that happen in basketball?
So it's either going to be the kid from Connecticut or the 2 kids from France,
It's going to be the 2 kids from France are going to go 1 and 2 in whatever order.
Well, no, they said the big guy from Connecticut is actually he put in a lot of work, got a lot of muscle.
Top 3. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like outside of the top 3, you really don't. It's the dude from Connecticut and the 2 kids from France. Outside of that, you don't really hear. You don't hear much.
And one more name that's been circulating lately, who actually had a good combine.
Nah,
is LeBron James Jr.
Running. He had a good combine, though. That's what they said. All the scouts are saying he's sneaking up on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to. I don't think he breaks the lottery. I don't even think he goes first round, to be honest with you. If he does, it's gonna be like late first round.
He's predicted that if they do him, high as 25 in the first round, and obviously as low as the second round. So he's going to get drafted.
Yeah, no. I mean, I always thought he was going to get drafted, like even before the combine, just because of his name.
Any other draft, he will. I don't think outside of his name, he wouldn't be relevant.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that. No, I think he would be like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of his name, if you know what I'm saying, if he was,
but that's what's gonna keep us talking about him. You know what I mean? His name, like,
if he was Bronny Jones, we wouldn't be talking about Bronny Jones.
Right? Yeah, we would, because we'd be like that. We'd be following him, thinking that's yeah.
No, it just all these millennials naming their kids after LeBron. That much I suspect. That one I think is in the works. You know how many LeBrons there are in the United States right now, born after LeBron James got drafted? I'm telling you, it's a thing.
It is a thing. It is a thing, and that's crazy.
Chris Bryant was the MVP of the Chicago Cubs in the 2016 World Series, and all the kids born that year was named Bryant. So I'm just telling you, they follow. The world are a bunch of followers, and that's where we're at. But you don't see Bronny getting drafted in the first round.
I think I can see him getting drafted probably toward the end of the first round. I can kind of see that. It looks like my technical difficulties have subsided because my camera kept going in and out, so I don't know. But yeah, that's another question for you, Amir. What other big names you see getting traded?
I think there's gonna be a ton of movement this offseason. I look at Julius Randle coming out of New York. I think he only has a year left. I think he's going to be on his way out. New Yorkers learned how to play without Julius Randle. Like, I've been screaming that for years. All they had to do is get the ball out of his hand, let him just play down low or pick and roll, and he'd be fine. Now, with that being said, they lost to the Pacers because they didn't have a Julius Randle. So I know it's a two-headed monster there as far as they better without him, but they failed beating the Pacers without him as well. So the reason they failed is because the Knicks played fast pace. They couldn't match up with the Pacers. Pacers too fast for them. So what do you do when you're playing a fast team? You slow the game down. You play a half-court game. For some reason, teams forget how to play half-court. It's like teams forget how to freaking inbound the basketball. Basketball one-on-one. It starts at a half-court. Now, why were the Knicks good at half-court? Because Julius Randle slowed the ball down. Jalen Brunson doesn't know how to do that. If you score a three on the Knicks, Jalen Brunson's like, I gotta shoot a three to tie it. That's his mentality, and that's where he fails.
That's the NBA's mentality.
Yeah, I can agree with that. A half-court game. And why is Dallas successful? They got one of the best half-court games in the league.
Yep.
Dallas Mavericks got one of the best half-court games in the league. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, PJ Washington, those guys know how to play half-court basketball. We give them all the props in the world. Transition basketball, and Boston knows that they got a good half-court game as well, but they try to match up. If Pacers are running and gunning, then Celtics said, let's run and gun as well. You know, the other team shouldn't dictate how you play basketball. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily them dictating it. You know what I mean? That's what the Pacers, that's their offense. You know what I mean?
I know that, but it's not the Celtics offense.
It can be.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Offense.
It can be.
And I'm gonna tell you something about Celtics. If they keep going the way they play game one, it's going to show you how much they probably missed Marcus Smart.
No. They haven't missed Marcus Smart at all. And
now with Drew Holiday.
Exactly.
They don't need him right now. Again, like I said, the way the game played out in game one,
but Drew
Holiday, was a whole different game.
Drew Holiday does everything Marcus Smart does, but better, and he has a better offensive game. Drew Holiday fits on that team way better than Marcus Smart did. I was a big Marcus Smart fan. I was pissed when they got there.
Hold on. Here's I'm going to tell you why. Marcus Smart wasn't all about that ISO game. He's like, whoa, no, we're not doing that. He knew how to tell everybody, even there were superstars, hey, this is what you need to do. Drew Holiday lets them do what they got to do. Like you said, they were up by 13, and all of a sudden they started playing ISO ball, and they just didn't score for like all of 8 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Right. No, I agree.
That doesn't happen, Marcus Smart.
That's not. But this is what I'm saying. Like, that's one thing about the Celtics. They're like I said, they're a top 3 offensive and defensive team on the year, so they can turn it up when they need to, and they can play defense when they need to. What kills me is when they start playing down to other teams.
Well, every other team is down.
That's most teams in the NBA too.
Like game 5, no, but I mean, like especially game 5 against Cleveland, where they were basically starting 3 people that they pulled out the stands and the 2 dudes that was sweeping,
and they still won by 25.
But they struggled. That 25 is an illusion.
Right, they played down to the competition.
If you actually watch the game, they struggled. They won by 25. They should have won by 65.
They struggled in the first quarter. I think it was like 20-20 at the end of the first quarter, and then after that, Celtics took over.
Bro, they won by 25. They should have won by 45.
I'm just saying it's not that big of a deal.
Now you're
when you get to
being selfish.
That you can't necessarily put down to, and that's what
you're spoiled, sir.
You're just being selfish now, sir. They should have won by 45. Stop being selfish. You won by 25. Stop being selfish.
I haven't seen
you don't need to win by 45. All right.
Obviously, this show today is all about the NBA playoffs. We're down to 4. The NHL was also down to 4. Real briefly, the New York Rangers was the number 1 overall seed. They lost their game 1 last night, 3-0. I will tell you, as a Rangers fan, I watched the game, and the Florida Panthers just skated circles around. They were just way too fast. First period, the Rangers, I think, scored 3 shots on goal. So, just mind you, when it comes to the last 4, that's the reason I'm bringing it up, because when you get to the last 4, that's usually the best 4 teams are the last 4 standing. In the East, it's just because everybody else got hurt, and Boston. So Boston, Indiana, Minnesota, and which was a shock to beat Denver, if I'm being honest with you. That was surprising to me, especially the way Denver played game 7. It's like they didn't want it, like at all.
Right.
You realize Dallas has 2 teams in the conference finals right now?
Yes. So, and trust me, the New York-Boston world was looking forward to the Bruins and Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Knicks and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that would have been an interesting matchup there. So, but either way, New York Rangers got to the Eastern Conference Finals in hockey. The Boston Celtics got to the Eastern Conference Finals in basketball. The Texas Rangers, since we bring up Dallas, are kind of struggling in that West that we call the American League West, as they're the defending champions. They're struggling. But Houston Astros not in first place. The Seattle Mariners are. Just want to throw that out there. It's kind of intriguing.
Crazy. That is crazy.
Baseball is where.
What's the Braves doing?
They're a couple games behind the red hot major league leading Philadelphia Phillies, the best team in baseball. Does come out of Philadelphia right now. But what people don't know is they haven't played anybody with a winning record much to begin the season. So I'm going to throw that out there. I'm not saying they're bad, because with Wheeler and Aaron Nola as their 1-2 punch as pitchers, Phillies are going to be okay. But they haven't really played anybody yet. But Braves are dealing with injuries, and we'll see. But to me, that's not an excuse. But I think they do have the hottest hitter, not the best hitter. They have the hottest hitter in baseball, and Marcell Ozuna, and that's all I'm going to say about Ozuna. He's been the hottest player in baseball right now.
But last year, wasn't that all you were saying about the Yankees?
What?
That they were hurt.
Yeah, they were.
That it was about the Yankees, and then say, but we can't say that about the Braves
because it's his team. You know how he does with his teams. Like,
no, I still expect the Yankees to be good in spite of injuries. You guys expect to be bad because of injuries. See the difference?
No, I don't.
I always expect my team to be good, whether they injured or not.
That's how the Braves fans. And trust me, there's a lot out there in Facebook world, because I spent 6 years in Georgia. A lot of them is like, oh, we're just hurt right now. We're just hurt right now. I'm gonna tell you right now why the Atlanta. You know what? Since you brought it up, I'll tell you right now why the Atlanta Braves are struggling, and that's that leadoff position. What you call the guy that the MVP in the right field, Acuna Jr., who doesn't look like he belongs in Major League right now.
I agree with you on that. I agree.
Y'all want to bring up the subject? I can do it. I can
do
it.
But when you start lying,
I'm talking to Braves fans out there on Facebook land.
Oh, I was about to say, I agree with you. I'm a Braves fan. I agree with you. Calm down, sir.
No, Acuna's struggling, obviously.
He went off real quick.
I'm just saying, the Yankees got the best record in the American League, and I'm still not like happy about it because there's been certain games where they won't score or run in 3 games, and I'm like, that's not a good team. And they have the best record in the American League, so there's still a lot to discuss on that. I'm just glad Aaron Judge is playing like Aaron Judge again because he struggled.
He needs to be tested. He on steroids.
Soto is balling too.
Yeah, and they already said that they will not extend them during the season. That came out yesterday. So
how do you feel about that?
Here's the issue with baseball. All contracts are guaranteed, right?
Right.
So when Derek Jeter did the Yankees a favor by trading Giancarlo Stanton and his $35 million a year contract to save Miami, that just cursed the Yankees. Outside of that 1 year he did. The first year he did amazing. He hit 49 home runs. After that, he can't stay on the field. But the Yankees are stuck with that for the next 5 years. With that being said, they don't have the money to sign Soto. That's Soto's money.
Nah, man, they're the Yankees. They got the money somewhere.
No, they don't want they since the passing of George Steinbrenner, they haven't gone over there. Now they might do it during the trade deadline just to finish the year out.
But this is
of course all year they don't do it.
But this is where I have an issue with it. You got him in house. What do you mean you're not going to try to negotiate with him during the season? You got him in house.
No, they're talking. He said he's open to it, but
they don't have the money. They came out and said that they won't do it during the season.
Okay, so they need to move contracts on the off season, not now. You can't sign them now for the money they don't have now. They can sign them on the off season for money they'll have next season. See what I'm saying? So they're hoping. Yeah,
but I'm saying if you're my client and I'm going to JB about, hey, look, we already got me in house for 162 games. Let's talk.
No, and they are talking, but the issue is he wants his extension now.
And they can't give him the extension until next year.
They got to offload contracts on the off seasing to give him that extension.
Again, they're the Yankees.
No, this is not the.
I'm saying
buying players.
This is what I'm saying. You got a big contract that you know what I'm saying you just shouldn't have. Attach one. Y'all got a good farm system, if I'm not mistaken, right?
A great farm system.
Attach 1 or 2 prospects to one of the big contracts. Send them to the Pirates.
And the Pirates might take it. I don't know.
They would. They're collecting. They're in the collecting business right now, and they're not spending very much money.
And I think Soto will have the second highest contract. And
I just think it's, especially with how sensitive these kids are these days, I think it's a mistake if you're like, yeah, we ain't gonna deal with you right now.
The first thing if I'm the owner of the Yankees, the first thing I'm gonna do is like, hey, can I get you to sign what Shohei Ohtani signed, and can I pay you $2 million right now, and I'm still gonna pay you $700 million later?
Man, how is that like?
Now, mind you, he's getting paid $34 million. For those of you that's wondering out there, his spot, his contract, he's still getting paid $34 million, but it's only $2 million off the books this season. So just want to throw that out there. So as far as the cap is concerned, he's taking up $34 million. He's only getting 2, but he's taking up $34 million.
Yeah.
That's the way these contracts are written. This is how baseball is. So they don't do so these teams don't do what they did to everybody, like the Dodgers did with Ohtani.
Gotcha.
And they're still paying tax. The Dodgers are paying way more in tax, but that contract is worth 34 to Major League Baseball, but it's only 2 to Ohtani. They still got to pay him $698 million down the line.
Right.
Still,
Tax is worth it. It's fine.
and yeah, that's
I
crazy.
would believe you.
But hey, the Dodgers will win the division again and lose in the first round like they always do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, as long as we make it, because some teams from the East Coast that have NYs on their hats just don't make it.
Why are you talking about the Mets? That's crazy. And yes, they suck. But they already said that they're willing to offer Juan Soto like $600 million. So expect him to stay in New York, but on the other side. That's just throwing it out there. But that's the Braves problem for next year, not ours. But either way, gentlemen, we're closing out here. I believe it was a good show. We're here. We're now on Thursday nights. Thursday nights, Thursday evenings. Not yet. The sun is still out. We battled a tornado yesterday, so the weather is clear today. Yeah, it was.
So that means it's coming this way.
It was crazy. Yes.
Ain't coming my way. We still on Sunday mornings. 10
Radio.
a.m. Central Standard Time on the radio, people. On the Radio DDIO. Check us out. All Sports Matter, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Central Standard, 595station.com. Or you can download the Parlay Period app. Just look in your app store, type in Parlay, Parlay, and put a period right behind it, and it'll pop right on up. You'll see it. You can listen to us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. The big chef ain't here. Anybody got some trivia? I got something if y'all don't have that.
No, just a little tidbit. The WNBA is doing their thing. They got 3 games that amassed 2 million plus.
Love it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it going.
B sample failed,
and we will eventually discuss further Caitlin Clark versus the world.
Yeah, because they oh my goodness, they are doing some craziness to Caitlin Clark. I feel sorry for her. I got a question for y'all.
Tyson Fury lost.
He did.
Ryan Garcia's B sample came back positive.
No, his B sample. Yeah, no, he wanted a C sample.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
No.
nobody even listening to the dude.
Yeah, we don't care.
Like, go have a seat, sir. You're ridiculous.
I just wanted to throw that little boxing in.
What's your question, JB?
How many cities have all 4 major sports?
4?
Yeah, all 4 teams. 4? No.
No, more than that.
New York, LA, Chicago,
Dallas, Boston, 5.
Dallas, Boston. Yeah.
Philadelphia, 6.
Yeah. Miami.
7.
Did we say Houston?
Did we say Atlanta?
Atlanta ain't got no hockey team.
Neither one of those 2 is on the list.
Atlanta, well, they had the
Neither one of what
they
two?
moved. Atlanta did have the thrash.
Houston and Atlanta.
Atlanta moved to Nashville. They did as used to. Miami, they don't have a.
How many are we up to?
Well,
How many?
tell me they do. The Carolina, the Florida Panthers playing in Miami. They just not called Miami. See,
I know. I said Miami.
No,
he said Houston. No, he said Houston.
Hey, Houston and Atlanta. Not
oh, okay, my bad. I was like Miami. Yeah, they got the Florida Panthers. So that's what.
No,
if
not
you
Vegas.
getting them baseball team already.
Who?
Not Vegas.
No, not yet. Anyway,
you said LA.
They don't have a basketball team.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
It is 13.
Who's the other 5? The other 6?
New York, Boston, Philly, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Detroit, Minneapolis, Washington, D.C., Miami, Denver, and Phoenix.
What hockey team does San Francisco have?
They have the San Jose, what you call it?
So they get to claim the entire Bay Area.
The entire Bay.
They get the whole area.
The whole Bay.
And then Arizona's about to drop out that list because guess what? They're moving to Utah next year.
Utah, all right.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I've heard that plenty of times. I just don't remember all the cities.
There's a lot of cities that makes
A
it
lot
rich.
of cities. This weekend got a lot of wrestling. Saturday, WWE, Sunday, AEW. I'm hoping to catch it when my feet is on a beach chair somewhere. So we'll see how that goes.
Safe travels, my brother. Him and his beautiful bride are finally going on their honeymoon.
Oh, we got rid of the kids today. They finished school. We shipped them out.
We know who's not going to be on the radio on Sunday. So
we know two people who are not. So safe travels, my brother.
I hate you so much.
And
I second that.
I hate him so much, y'all.
So safe travels, my brother, and see you when you get back.
Whatever.
Sure.
Flecty ran. He's not being a team player, you guys. Y'all need to write in and tell Fleck to be a team player.
We know he's not a team player. We knew that already.
On a sports show, he's not being a team player. You see how terrible that is? It's a sports show. It's all about teams.
I won't see it. If they write in, I won't see it.
Yeah, you won't.
Yeah, you will.
We had to screenshot it.
I'm gonna screenshot all the conversations.
Hey, look, I ain't even gonna open them. I'm gonna see the little thumbnails that's showing text messages. Yep.
Oh no. Nope. I'm gonna copy it and paste it. All right. Like we always say, some people like football, baseball, and basketball, while others like hockey, soccer, and NASCAR. But here, all sports matter.
Peace out.